Okay, I don't know what this video is going to be about yet. I just want to get on here and talk, and then um, depending on what comes out, I will go from there. So I'm just checking to see how much time I have because I gotta be somewhere. Um, okay, so what was on my mind when I started the video was that oftentimes we forget or don't realize that feminine and masculine energy is something that is possessed by both men and women. And the reason that I say that is because I'll use an example. I've been back on Facebook lately, and so people post their things or whatever their ideas, and I enjoy it. I forgot how much I enjoyed it because it really gives a great opportunity to get insight into the different perspectives that people have and the different ideas people have surrounding things. So one of the things that somebody mentioned, or one of the ideas that somebody had, was that women don't know what they want. And this is a popular misconception that, women don't know what they want. It's because feminine energy, when it is imbalanced, doesn't know what it wants. Because when we think about feminine energy, it's like water, it flows. And then when we think about a river, sometimes it's calm when it's in harmony. And then sometimes it's rough and erratic and all over the place and taking everything with it. Like, if you guys follow me on Facebook, like the story that I said about when I used to live by the river. So that is the nature of feminine energy. Sometimes it's calm, and sometimes it's the complete opposite of that. And that is, there's no in between. That it just is what it is. There's the two extremes. Actually, sometimes it meets in the middle, but for the most part, the river is either really clear or it's crazy when it's imbalanced. When it's imbalanced, it's murky. It runs very fast. It's all over the place. It's taking, in order to get rid of all of that stuff. And then when the imbalance is restored, when the imbalance is corrected and the balance is restored, um, the river goes back to being clear and calm and flowing. So that's the same thing with feminine energy. As women, we incarnate into this life as women because we are learning about feminine energy. And that's why we become it. We become the feminine so that we can learn more about it. And the masculine has already mastered feminine energy. And so he is there to teach us. He's there to be like a mirror of what, so that's why he knows a little bit more. He has more insight into what feminine energy is supposed to be and look like. And so that's why he's able to guide us and vice versa. We're able to guide him within the realms of masculine energy because that's something that we've already mastered. And so that's what the thing is. If you're into spirituality, if you're not, go ahead and click off this video. But if you are open to learning a different perspective of things, then let's continue. So that's where that misconception comes from. So to sit there and think that all women can't make decisions or are all over the place or are because I dealt with a man personally that really thought that all women were just all over and this is their crazy energy and this is what their energy is like and masculine energy is like this and he just had like this really convoluted view of what feminine energy was. No, that is feminine energy when it is unbalanced. And because you and so many other men and so many other women have experienced it in that form, we associate that with women. But that is not functional. That's not balanced. That's not a balanced woman. A balanced woman is calm. She's clear, just like a river. Think about a river on a day when it's calm and clear, and that's what a woman is supposed to be in her true nature. And then when she's imbalanced, i.e., not living in her truth, however that looks for her. She's going to be like the river when it becomes imbalanced because there's too much rainfall in the mountains, and then it adds, just up, it just disrupts the flow of the river. She's going to become like that. So, um, all that to say, she's not only is she going to be like that, a man will be like that if his feminine energy is unbalanced. He'll be all over the place. He'll be unable to make decisions. He'll be unable to stand up for himself. He'll be lazy and flighty and all of these things that we associate with certain types of with women, that men associate with women. He'll be that way. I've met plenty of men that remind me of what a stereotypical woman, according to some men, is supposed to be. And that's the reason for it. Because we all possess the feminine and the masculine energy. And it all needs to be balanced. We teach each other how to balance it. I'm teaching you how to balance your masculine energy. You're teaching me how to balance my feminine energy. So what's another example? So a stereotype that is for men now. There was one that I had before I started this video, and now I can't think of it. What is stereotypical of men? Men are strategic and they're protectors and providers. There are women. That's why there are women out there who are protectors and providers, because we all have that energy within us again. And okay, no, all right, so let me think about a negative stereotype, because that's more of a positive. A negative stereotype that is for men. Men are controlling, men are abusive, men are manipulative, men are narcissists. That misconception of the masculine energy comes from an imbalance. When the masculine is imbalanced, when the masculine energy is imbalanced, it becomes aggressive. It becomes manipulative. It becomes power-seeking. It becomes ego-driven. It becomes all of these different kind of things. And because we associate masculine energy with men, we think that only men possess this type of behavior, this type of energy. And it's not true. We've seen that women can also be controlling and manipulative. We've seen that women can also be aggressive. And that's because she also has masculine energy within her. So rather than going at each other from a man versus woman perspective, we can look at it from a human to human perspective. We both are challenged. We're both facing the same types of challenges. And this is on purpose. This is on purpose. I kind of want to use this to segue into sort of another topic, but to me it's intertwined. Hopefully I'll do a good job at showing how it can be interrelated. This whole idea of traditional ways of thinking and non-traditional ways of thinking. There are some people who are more inclined to a traditional way of thinking. Women are supposed to be at home, take care of the home, and have your babies. And men are supposed to provide the foundation and platform for her to be able to do that. That's the traditional way of thinking. And then the non-traditional way of thinking is we come together with each other for what we see in one another, like for other reasons, because of spiritual reasons, because of how somebody, I don't want to say how somebody thinks, because that changes as they change. Just being with somebody just for the journey. Like, I guess that would be the non-traditional route. Just more of like a poly lifestyle, more of like a free-flowing, like, just we'll see where this goes kind of lifestyle. And some people are more inclined to one or the other. I think I'm going to venture to say that maybe women are more inclined to the non-traditional route and men are more inclined to the traditional route. Or the masculine energy is more inclined to the traditional route and the feminine energy is more inclined to the non-traditional route. And depending on what energy is more dominant within you, that's the position you're going to take. And then so when we get into relationships, naturally you're going to attract someone if you are more inclined to let's say the non-traditional route. You're going to attract people who are more inclined to the traditional route, because that's the whole purpose of relationships. Yin versus yang, opposites attract, positive and negative. All of that is the same thing. It's all interrelated. So you're naturally going to attract the opposite of you, which is really a match, which is really attuned with you, which is really aligned with you, because whatever energy they're flowing through, like let's say that they have traditional views, which is masculine, but there are ways that traditional views can be unbalanced, and that's when we start to project our traditional views onto other people and try to control them and think that they don't have a choice. Like with how that's the point that I wanted to make when I first started the video. Like how a lot of men and women think that, don't consider that the other person in the relationship also has a choice. When you're operating in your unbalanced masculine energy, you tend to eliminate, like, it's not even a thing in your brain that somebody else, the other person has a choice. And a perfect example of that is like men who are like, I chose you for this reason, or women who are like, I chose you for this reason. Okay, you chose me for that reason because that's what you think you want. And I also have a choice of whether or not I want to be chosen for that reason. So I can walk away because I am not in alignment with why you chose me, or I can decide to stay. But to then think that you can change me and mold me into what the reason that you chose me for is dysfunctional. Why would we think that that's going to work? That's not the purpose of a relationship. That's to sit there, and the reason why I'm the opposite is not for you to change me. It's for you to explore that part of yourself, because again, it exists within you. The non-traditional and the traditional exists within you. The feminine and the masculine exists within you. So if I'm looking like I'm coming as an opposite of you, it's because there's something for you to still learn. When you start to recognize me as a partner, as the same as you, as equal to you, as going through the same things that you go through, rather than a man versus woman kind of thing, then that's when you know that you've been doing the healing, like you're on the right track. When you start looking at other people and seeing the similarities within them and yourself, that's when you know you're on the right track. Let me go ahead and check the time. All right, so I gotta cut this off, guys. There will probably be an extension of this video. Probably will be like, how do you know when you are in alignment with your highest self? That might be the title of the next video. So this one, we'll see. Anyway, guys, be well.